fractie neste partij.
Moving to Europe now, where Hungary has announced plans to withdraw from the International Criminal Court as Prime Minister Viktor Orbán hosts Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Budapest. Netanyahu's visit marks his first trip to Europe since the ICC issued an arrest warrant against him over alleged war crimes in Gaza. Netanyahu's visit, kept unusually secretive, includes meetings with Orbán and Hungarian President Tamás Sulyok before his scheduled return to Israel on Sunday. The ICC had previously stated that it had reasonable grounds to believe Netanyahu bears criminal responsibility for war crimes, including starvation as a method of warfare, and the crimes against humanity of murder, persecution, and other inhumane acts. The ICC doesn't have its own law enforcement powers, so it relies on its member states and transfer suspects to The Hague. We are joined by Mark Sofer, former ambassador of Israel to India, to join us in this conversation, located in Tel Aviv. Thank you very much for joining us, Mark. Mark, what's your initial reaction to this? Hungary and Viktor Orbán deciding to withdraw Hungary from the International Criminal Court?
Well, I don't have a point of view on Hungary's decision-making processes and what their decisions are. But of course, on the question of the Netanyahu visit there, which is a wider issue, an issue that affects Israel, we do have opinions here in Israel. They're rather strong, but not on Hungary itself.
So tell me about the implications of obviously Netanyahu, who was technically a fugitive under the International Criminal Court.
Well, I wouldn't use the word fugitive. I think that's going too far. But I will say the following thing. There's an enormous amount of criticism in Israel, enormous, about Netanyahu's visit to Hungary right now, both because of the length. If you're going to Hungary and you want to meet one or two, it's a 3 or 4 hour flight away, you want to meet one or two people, you can come back the same day. So to go for 3 days is an exorbitant amount of time, and much criticism here about that. Also, because Israel is at a boiling point right now, both externally, as you've read on the news just recently, or just now, what he believes is justified after the horror of the 7th of October. Of course, it goes to the ICC and they may make their decisions. So we don't believe that that's an issue in the Hungary visit. But the other two things certainly are: the length of stay, as I said, and why go away for 3 days when everything is at boiling point here in Israel.
We have seen, obviously, the International Criminal Court execute a warrant when it came to the arrest of Duterte, the former Philippines leader, who some would say executed a brutal crime on drugs. These charges that Netanyahu does face under the International Criminal Court, would you say they are completely unwarranted and politically driven then?
Yes, I would say that. I would also say that they're under appeal, so I think that needs to be seen as well. It's not a final decision. And as I repeat again, Israel right now is extremely divided. Enormous amounts of us and numbers of us are demonstrating in the streets to have new elections, to bring this country back into some sort of visionary purpose, both for Israelis and for Palestinians. But yes, we all agree that the ICC decision was abominable. I don't think there's very few people who think otherwise in Israel. It's under appeal. It's not final, and I would be at all surprised if it was rescinded. So I think that we should look at it in that respect, even as far as internal Israel is concerned, which is how we look at it. So I would say yes, it was a political decision, not a judicial decision, and it was. Israel is held to a different standard than almost any other country in the world. You talk about the Philippines president, but the Iranians who are hanging gays, and Turks who are arresting arbitrarily mayors and clamping down on terrible human rights abuses. And they have nothing, they are passed sort of unambiguously. So I think it is a political decision, yes.
Mark Sofer, thank you very much for joining us. Unfortunately, we have run out of time. We now move on to some more news.